On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Because I'm gonna say give it. Because they don't earn it. It's giving it in the form of this equity bullshit. The more we give them, our family is going in the trash. Everything else. When are women gonna say that's enough is enough?
When we get too old and it's too late.
I think women, that's true. That's true as well. I think also for us to get to that point, I think we have to actually have an understanding of the importance of fellowship and friendship and family and legacy and all of these different things. I think right now we kind of just look at sex as it's just a thing, you know, it's just a thing that you do. It has no other value beyond that. And so when we start to prioritize fellowship and family and friendship and all of those things in proper and healthy relationships, we're no longer now having combos of saying, are you having sex on the first night? That's no longer the conversation. And even in that, when we prioritize friendships above sex, we no longer have a friend zone.
Do you think sexual liberation has helped or hindered the Western world?
Completely hindered us. Absolutely. I think it hindered us simply because I think that movement, a part of like even the feminist movement, it wasn't very helpful simply because I think we were focused on trying to like, you know, be like men and not realize that we were already equal to men in a way, but we're different. Like we have our own parts, we have our own quintessence, if you will, that makes us equal in our own way, but just we're similar, but we're very different, right? And so in the case of the sexual liberation, I feel like women were trying to, that was an experiment to show how much different we can be, how we don't need men and so on and so forth. And the funny thing about when you're trying to compete with something or somebody, in this case, women competing with men, it automatically says the thing that you're competing with is better than you, which is really crazy but going back to the sexual liberation, I think it has hindered because women are not being regarded as, women are not taking their time to be responsible with their wombs, with their bodies. They're thinking, oh, because I can, I should. And the question that I always ask myself when I'm going to make a decision to do anything, first and foremost, the question is this beneficial? Or is this permissible? And obviously the answer can always be yes, right? But then the next question after that is it beneficial? And then after that, you know, you ask yourself the question, do I want to keep these memories? Like, do I want to remember this event or this situation? And so we get into this whole sexual liberation thing. We have a culture where it's not healthy for women to be sexually liberated in the way that we are expressing and exposing ourselves because a lot of us don't appreciate the female form. And so because we don't appreciate these things, we put ourselves in situations and positions where we are putting ourselves in harm's way for the sake of saying, I can because I can.
It has also hindered us.
I want to just know, you said we are similar. How are we similar?
I knew he was going to.
It's similar in the sense of we both have a similar purpose. The first main purpose is that we are stewards of the earth, first and foremost. And then after that, we have our own individual purposes that allow us to be able to get back and collectively fix or do what we have to do, which is being stewards of the earth.
So you saying, I don't know, that was like a whole big ass salad full of words. Can you look? How are we similar? I mean, that's what I'm just saying. How are we similar? We're stewards of the earth, but I'm just saying, how are we similar?
I got you. So like, we all have the same spirit. Like we're all of the same essence. Like we're of the same essence. Of course, when God was making man, he had to like differentiate us from animals and from birds and from fish and things like that. So he had to make two different houses, male and female. And so because we're under, that what makes us different, our two houses in male and female, but the similarity is our own individual spirits. That's the similarity.
So God made earth, God made everything. He made man, gave man purpose, and then made woman and gave her purpose in that order.
He gave both purpose. He gave both purpose. Because even if you want to go to the Bible, even in the Bible, I think it's Genesis 1:26, he says, let us make man in our image, or let us make them in our image. An image is talking about character. So everyone already.
But soon as he made man, soon as he made woman, what was his very next thing he said?
He gave him assignment. The very next thing was he gave him dominion. He had
no. He gave dominion. Once he made woman, he said, therefore go and be fruitful and multiply.
Right.
He gave you your purpose right there.
Okay, so then that answers your question, yes?
No, I answer for myself, but I'm just saying.
I mean,
even God knew we wasn't similar. He created us, and then, like I said,
we have differences because of our prototypes are different, but the spirit is the same.
Going in circles.
I agree with that.
Okay, can I say something?
I agree with that.
The sexual liberation has definitely hindered us. We are not equal to men, especially in a sexual way. We cannot move like men in a sexual way. We know as women, our body, like we can't endure all the bodies that men can endure, right? We sexually, we're more emotional. The more bodies you have, the more trauma you're probably going to have attached, because every man is probably going to rub off on you some way, somehow. So it definitely has affected us in a negative way. Even that, what's that famous girl, that bald-headed chick that did that slut walk? Like really?
What?
What's her name? Yes, her. Like, really, is that what we're promoting now? Right? What's next? Right? What's gonna affect our kids now? Right? So I definitely agree that it has definitely hindered us in many ways. So imagine in 10 years what it's gonna look like. Right? Now we're gonna have little kids doing slut walks now. But it's not going good right now. But
yeah. But do sexual liberation exist outside of the Western civilization?
No, I don't think so.
It don't. And now, as you see, they have families, they have communities. Goes back to the other question. Because of this sexual liberation bullshit, it shows you how our women are not. They don't understand sacrifice. They don't understand nothing outside of themselves. They see, based on everything else, our community, the more power women get, what we see is it's destroying our family and it's destroying our relationship. So do you think at what point is women going to say, you know what? This is destructive to my family and my community. I don't need it because apparently I can't handle it. And if you look at the timeline, the more power you give women, because I'm going to say give it, because they don't earn it, it's giving it in the form of this equity bullshit. The more we give them, our family is going in the trash. Everything else. When are women going to say that's enough is enough?
When we get too old and it's too late.
I think women, that's true as well. I think also for us to get to that point, I think we have to actually have an understanding of the importance of fellowship and friendship and family and legacy and all of these different things. I think right now we kind of just look at sex as it's just a thing, you know, it's just a thing that you do. It has no other value beyond that. And so when we start to prioritize fellowship and family and friendship and all of those things in proper and healthy relationships, we're no longer now having combos of saying, are you having sex on the first night? That's no longer the conversation. And even in that, when we prioritize friendships above sex, we no longer have a friend zone.